안녕하세요. 최근에 끝난 비트코인 서울 2025 컨퍼런스 정말 대단했죠.
네, 열기가 정말 뜨거웠어요.
혹시 좀 아쉽게 못 가셨거나 아니면 그 현장의 인사이트를 다시 한번 좀 곱씹어보고 싶다 이런 분들 계실 것 같아요.
맞아요. 그런 분들을 위해서 저희가 오늘 좀 흥미로운 세션 하나를 깊게 파보려고 합니다.
네, 바로 함께 일하고 지내며 협력하다 비트코인 공간을 문화 인프라로 이 세션인데요. 이게 그냥 온라인에서만 만나는 게 아니라 실제 만나는 공간. 이게 왜 중요하고 또 어떻게 만들어 가야 하나. 뭐 그런 이야기였죠.
그렇죠. 온라인 커뮤니티도 물론 중요한데 사람들이 진짜 만나서 뭐 부딪히고 같이 일하고 이런 물리적인 공간, 그러니까 문화 인프라로서의 장소는 또 다른 차원의 가치를 줄 수 있잖아요.
네네.
오늘 그래서 빌리조, 테로코, 키플랩 이 세 분 발표를 통해서 그 중요성, 또 실제 사례들, 특히 약간 접근법이 다르거든요. 그 부분을 좀 비교하면서 핵심을 짚어볼까 합니다.
가장 근본적인 질문은 역시 그거겠네요. 왜 우리한테 오프라인 비트코인 공간이 필요한가?
바로 그거죠.
그럼 먼저 테로코님이 소개한 도쿄 사례부터 볼까요? 그 비트코인 스타트업 투자사 플러그앤플레이 벤처스 이야기요.
네. 거기서 나온 아이디어인데 컨퍼런스 같은 특별한 이벤트에서나 이렇게 막 생기는 협업의 마법 있잖아요.
네, 있죠.
그걸 좀 일상적인 공간에서도 만들어보자 이런 시도였던 거죠.
오, 상당히 구체적으로 진행됐네요.
그럼요. 그래서 도쿄 중심부에 비트코인 베이스 도쿄라고 4층짜리 1300제곱미터 규모 공간을 열었어요.
1300제곱미터요? 엄청 크네요.
네. 이미 블록스트림 재팬, 다이아몬드 핸즈 같은 비트코인 회사들이 들어와 있고요. 근데 여기서 진짜 재밌는 건 일본 최대 전력 회사인 도쿄전력 자회사까지 거기 들어왔다는 거예요.
전력회사가요? 왜요?
남면 전기로 비트코인을 채굴 하면서 합류했다는 거죠. 이게 그냥 단순 임대가 아니라 뭐랄까 전통 산업계가 비트코인이랑 이렇게 물리적으로 만나는 어떤 신호탄 이렇게 볼 수도 있을 것 같아요. 심지어 패션 브랜드 NFA도 참여했고요.
와, 흥미롭네요. 근데 이게 좀 기업들이 들어오는 탑다운 방식이면 너무 상업적이거나 좀 폐쇄적인 느낌이 들 수도 있지 않을까요? 커뮤니티 공간이랑은 좀 거리가 멀어질 수도 있을 것 같은데.
그거 좋은 지적이세요. 테르코님도 약간 그걸 의식했는지 그냥 코워킹 스페이스만 하는 게 아니라 올 가을에는 아예 같이 사는 코리빙 공간까지 계획하고 있더라고요.
커뮤니티성을 좀 강화하려는 거죠.
코리빙까지.
네.
물론 지속 가능성을 위해서 탄탄한 비즈니스 모델을 강조하긴 했어요. 그러면서도 각 도시 상황에 맞는 현지 리더십이 중요하다. 이렇게 균형을 좀 잡으려는 모습이었고요. 전 세계 주요 도시에 이런 공간 더 만들고 싶다는 포부도 밝혔고요.
그렇군요. 근데 반면에 발리에서 비트코인 하우스 발리 운영하는 키플랩님은 완전 다른 그림이었어요.
맞아요. 거기는 진짜 완전 바텀업. 시작도 되게 소박했잖아요. 그냥 비트코인 쓰는 사람들하고 어울리는 게 좋아서 시작했다고요.
네, 맞아요.
키플랜님은 물리적 공간이 비트코인 도입에 가장 중요하다. 이렇게 엄청 강조하더라고요. 온라인보다 실제 만나는 게 훨씬 파급력이 크다. 이런 경험에서 나온 말이겠죠.
실제로도 활발하고요.
네, 발리에서는 한 달에 미더비 36개나 열린대요. 엄청나죠?
와, 36개요. 매일 열리는 거네요, 거의.
그렇죠. 근데 그냥 모이기만 하는 게 아니라 코드 오렌지 개발자 학교 같은 교육 워크숍으로 이걸 발전시키고 있어요.
개발자나 노드 운영자 문제. 이거 비트코인 생태계의 오랜 고민인데 그걸 직접 해결하려고 하는 거네요.
네, 맞아요. 9주짜리 개발자 양성 코스도 만들고 노드 운영 워크숍에서는 예를 들면 멀티시그 보안 설정이나 커뮤니티 은행처럼 쓸 수 있는 패드민트 기술, 아니면 탈중앙 SNS 프로토콜인 노스트라 같은 거, 이런 실용적인 기술들을 가르치고 있더라고요. 기술 장벽을 낮추려는 노력이죠.
와, 되게 실질적이네요, 근데. 아까 월세를 안 낸다고 하셨잖아요. 그건 진짜 놀라운데요? 어떻게 그게 가능하죠?
저도 그 얘기 듣고 깜짝 놀랐어요. 그 공간 주인이 이 커뮤니티 활동에 완전 감동해서 그냥 무료로 공간에 내줬다는 거예요.
와, 대단하다.
네. 그러니까 비용은 최소화하면서 커뮤니티가 자생적으로 크는 어떻게 보면 진짜 이상적인 틀뿌리 모델일 수도 있는 거죠.
그러네요. 이 두 사례를 이렇게 놓고 보니까 비트코인 커뮤니티 만들고 싶으면 일단 그냥 부담 없이 미덕부터 시작해보는 게 답인 것 같아요.
네, 그렇죠.
뭐 차고던 카페던 작은 공간이라도 꾸준히 모이다 보면 뜻 맞는 사람도 찾고 그러다 보면 발리처럼 또 열정적인 지지자를 만날 수도 있는 거고요.
맞아요. 그리고 도쿄나 발리처럼 좀 매력적인 도시에 이런 고점이 생기면 전 세계 비트코이너들이 이렇게 자연스럽게 모이는 허브 역전도 할 수 있겠다 싶더라고요.
네, 정말 그렇겠네요.
그래서 키플랩님은 미드업 시작하고 기술 워크숍으로 발전시키세요. 딱 이렇게 명확하게 행동 지침을 줬고 테르코님은 또 도쿄 베이스에 와서 일본 커뮤니티랑 협력하면서 좀 자극을 달라고 초대했잖아요.
아, 네네.
결국 중요한 건 진짜 시작하는 용기 그리고 꾸준함인 것 같아요.
오늘 이렇게 이야기 나눠보니까 그 기업 주도의 체계적인 지원 방식이랑 또 풀뿌리 커뮤니티의 자발적인 열정? 이 두 가지가 어떻게 잘 어우러져서 비트코인 생태계를 더 풍성하게 만들 수 있을지 기대가 되네요.
그렇죠.
저는 개인적으로 그 컨퍼런스에서 느꼈던 만남의 마법을 일상으로 가져오려는 그 시도 자체가 되게 멋지다고 느꼈어요. 아, 정말 기술만큼이나 사람 사이의 연결이 중요하구나. 다시 한번 생각했고요.
저도 정말 공감합니다. 이런 물리적인 공간을 만들고 또 지식을 나누려는 노력들이 결국 비트코인 네트워크를 더 건강하고 분산적으로 만드는 진짜 핵심 동력 중 하나라고 생각해요.
네.
여기서 한번 이런 질문 던져볼 수 있을 것 같아요. 장기적으로 봤을 때 탑다운 방식이랑 바텀업 방식 중에 어떤 요소가 비트코인 생태계의 지속적인 성장에 더 중요하게 작용할까요? 아니면 이 둘이 어떻게 좀 시너지를 해야 할까요?
아, 좋은 질문이네요.
네, 이 질문에 대해서 각자 한번 생각해 보시는 것도 재밌을 것 같습니다. 오늘 저희 이야기가 여러분께도 좀 유익한 자극이 되었기를 바랍니다.
네, 다음에 또 흥미로운 주제로 찾아뵙겠습니다.
Okay, so let's unpack this. We're taking you back to Bitcoin Seoul 2025, specifically to a really fascinating panel discussion that looked into, well, the very fabric of the Bitcoin community.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, if you maybe missed the conference, or even if you were there and just want to kind of revisit some insights, maybe connect a few new dots, then this deep dive is definitely for you.
Exactly.
Our mission today, really, it's not just about recapping what people said on stage. We want to pull out the most important, nuggets of knowledge from that session. It was called Building Bitcoin Culture, Physical Spaces, Community, and Collaboration.
Right.
We're trying to give you that informed shortcut, kind of distill why this whole shift to real-world interaction in the Bitcoin world isn't just a nice idea, but actually a pretty powerful catalyst for its future.
Yeah, and the session really honed in on this powerful, maybe even counterintuitive idea, how this inherently digital community, Bitcoin, can evolve beyond just the online networks to become like meaningful real-world cultural spaces. So the big question they tackled was, why? Why in this super digital world do we actually need these physical spots? And why are they so crucial for Bitcoin's long-term health and adoption?
It is kind of a paradox, isn't it?
It really is. We talk decentralization, global networks, transcending borders. But then, the panel asked, why do we need physical Bitcoin spaces? And honestly, they had some pretty compelling answers that really made sense.
Well, what's fascinating, I thought, was Taruko's perspective. She's from Plugger Ventures, right? A firm investing only in Bitcoin startups.
Right.
And she described conferences and these face-to-face meetings as places where this almost indescribable magic happens.
Magic, yeah.
Yeah, it's where she sees genuine industry growth getting accelerated, where open source development really, really thrives, much more than purely online stuff can achieve. And she stressed this magic isn't just for big conferences. The goal is to kind of weave it into everyday life. By providing spaces where builders can just gather daily, have those, spontaneous chats, or maybe just grab a casual drink together.
And that idea of magic, it isn't just some buzzword, is it? It really speaks to the human side of things.
Totally.
You think about like the nonverbal cues, those spontaneous ideas that pop up during a coffee break, or, the trust you build sharing a meal. These are subtle, but incredibly powerful things that speed up real collaboration, real idea sharing, stuff that just doesn't really translate well through a screen. That's the core of that magic Taruko mentioned.
Exactly.
And Keypleb, he's from Bitcoin House Bali, he echoed this, stated pretty clearly that physical spaces are just more impactful.
Right.
He pointed out how much easier it is to orange pill someone,
Right.
convince them about Bitcoin or sort out complex talks when you're actually physically together. Sitting across a table.
Yeah.
It's a completely different vibe than, say, a Twitter space or a Google Meet.
Oh, completely. The energy, that immediate feedback, just being in the same room, It all adds up to a deeper connection. And so if these spaces are really the catalysts for this magic and they're that impactful, then the obvious next question is, well, how are people actually building them?
Yeah, good question.
Is it something just anyone can do, or does it always need like major backing? And the panel then kind of peeled back the curtain on two really interesting, almost opposite approaches from very different places.
They did, yeah, and it was a fantastic contrast. First up, the Tokyo Bitcoin base.
Okay.
Chiruko shared that this one is, well, it's pretty large. It's a corporately funded initiative led by Plugger Ventures.
Right.
Opened just a couple of months before the conference. It boasts, get this, 1,300 square meters over 4 floors, plus a basement. 21 dedicated office spaces.
Yeah.
It's a statement.
Definitely a statement. And what makes this Tokyo hub really compelling isn't just its sheer size, but the kind of ecosystem they're trying to build there. Like you said, not just some generic co-working space. It's already got big players like Plugger Ventures Japan, Blockstream Japan.
Yeah.
But here's where it gets really unique. Agile Energy X. Okay, this is a 100% subsidiary of Japan's biggest power company, Tokyo Electric.
Wow.
They've apparently been secretly mining Bitcoin with unused electricity for 3 years, and now they're based there.
No kidding. That's huge.
Yeah, it really shows how traditional industries are kind of quietly getting involved. Plus, they're launching co-living options this fall.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, comfortable apartments, central Tokyo, designed to feel like a proper home, not just a business hotel, you know, big rooms, kitchens, laundries, just minutes from the base.
So if we kind of zoom out and connect this to the bigger picture, Tokyo Bitcoin Base isn't just about renting desks, is it?
No, not at all.
It feels like an ambitious play to sort of reestablish Japan as a global Bitcoin hub. I mean, Japan used to be a powerhouse, right?
Yeah.
Handling like over 55% of global Bitcoin trades back in 2017.
That's right, yeah.
So their aim seems to be bringing that kind of leadership back, stimulating the local scene, but recognizing that actually outside Bitcoin users are really key to making that happen again. It's a sort of top-down investment trying to reignite things.
It is inspiring seeing that kind of large-scale vision, like the Tokyo Bitcoin base. But okay, what about, you know, the rest of us, people without huge corporate backing?
Right, exactly.
And the panel transitioned really nicely to a completely different model. Keypleb's incredible grassroots work with Bitcoin House Bali and Code Orange.
Ah, yes, Bali.
He just said he likes spending time with Bitcoin users, and that pure community-driven passion, that's really the heart of their approach.
Simple as that.
Yeah. And what's truly remarkable, I think, is that Bitcoin House Bali operates without paying monthly rent.
Get out. How?
They found an orange-pilled landlord who just loves the community and wanted more Bitcoin people in his co-working space.
That's amazing.
It keeps their, what they call burn rate, incredibly low. It just shows a physical space doesn't have to mean massive financial costs.
That's such a powerful example of community finding a way. So, okay, they have this strong, low-cost hub. What's their main goal then?
Well, Keypleb laid out the vital goals for their Code Orange Developer School. They're aiming squarely at the global shortage of Bitcoin developers.
Which is a real problem.
Oh, absolutely. Specifically targeting 200 trained developers by the end of 2026. And get this, each capable of 2 high-quality GitHub pull requests per week.
Wow, that's specific. And ambitious.
Very concrete, yeah. And impactful. Another huge goal is doubling the number of full nodes running, which, as you know, is just critical for keeping the network decentralized and secure.
Totally.
He even mentioned how at the conference, nearly half the audience raised their hands when asked if they run a node. He was thrilled, called it a fantastic sign of growing decentralization.
That's great to hear. So how do they actually achieve these goals? The developer training, the nodes?
They do it through all sorts of in-person workshops, covering everything from the absolute basics, like running a node, to more advanced stuff like mining, multi-sig, which is key for secure fund control, right?
Yeah, collaborative control.
Exactly. And even discussions around $5 wrench attacks, which sounds kind of funny, but it's a serious look at the physical security risks with Bitcoin.
Yeah, the practical real-world stuff.
Exactly. They also run a solid Decoding Bitcoin 9-week program, hold regular reading groups talking about foundational texts like the Cypherpunk Manifesto.
Oh, cool.
And they even incentivize community leaders with sats, small amounts of Bitcoin, and other support just to run meetups. Keypleb mentioned sending $10 worth of Bitcoin, maybe 10,000 sats, to leaders in Indonesia running their 36 monthly meetups.
Just encouraging that local activity.
Precisely. His core message was super simple. Just play more with other Bitcoin users, start meetups, and then consistently upgrade them to become more technical workshops.
Okay, so this brings us to a really crucial point then.
Yeah.
What does all this actually mean for you listening and maybe your local community?
Right.
The panel did acknowledge, look, building and sustaining these physical spaces, it's hard work.
Definitely not easy.
Just relying on, say, co-working fees for revenue, that's often really challenging.
Yeah.
Taruko advised that, yeah, corporate funding can be a powerful tool, but she also really stressed that true success hinges on strong local leadership. You need people on the ground who get the local needs and can respond to them.
Yeah, that makes sense. Plugger Ventures itself is apparently looking to open more bases, places like the UK, El Salvador, Slovenia, precisely because they already have those local leaders there.
Right, the local champion is key.
Which leads to, I think, an important reflection. While these physical spots are clearly, catalysts for growth and deeper engagement, they aren't without challenges, right? Did the panel touch on any potential downsides? Like, I don't know, in a truly global, decentralized network, is there maybe a risk of creating localized silos or, accidentally excluding people who just can't physically get to these hubs?
That's a really good point. A definite tension there.
Yeah, balancing that undeniable benefit of being in the same room with Bitcoin's whole global, borderless idea.
Yeah, exactly. And maybe to address some of those challenges, KeyClub offered that different approach, right?
Yeah.
For anyone looking to start their own Bitcoin space, one that doesn't need massive corporate money or a huge building.
Right, grassroots way.
He suggests starting incredibly small. A garage, a cafe, even just an apartment corner. Bitcoin House Bali, like we heard, keeps its costs super low because they don't pay rent.
The landlord hack.
Exactly. The absolute key, he says, is consistency. Just pick a day and time, like the first Friday of every month at 5 p.m. at the same place, and just stick to it.
Routine builds community.
Yeah, that predictability builds trust, it builds the community. He was really passionate, emphasizing that these physical spaces are just vital. Vital for real-world adoption, helping Bitcoin move beyond just, online charts and speculation.
So, okay, we've dived pretty deep into this Building Bitcoin Cultures panel from Seoul 2025. What really stands out most to you listening?
For us, it seems crystal clear that while Bitcoin definitely lives and breathes on the internet, its culture truly blossoms, it spreads, when people actually meet up, collaborate, and learn together in physical spaces.
Yeah.
The panel really hammered home that genuine physical interaction is kind of the secret sauce.
Yeah.
Both for that individual orange pilling moment and for bigger industry growth.
Yeah, I agree. And both speakers had really powerful closing thoughts that kind of summed it all up. Taruko believes adoption won't just happen in isolation.
Right.
International Bitcoin users need to actively engage with local communities to really spark growth, especially in places like Japan with that strong history.
Makes sense.
And KeyClub's takeaway, even simpler, but maybe even more profound, keep decentralizing the network. How? By engaging in conferences, sure, but crucially by upgrading your casual meetups into more technical, hands-on workshops.
That is building.
Exactly. What we really took away from this deep dive, I think, is the huge, maybe sometimes understated impact of just being physically present with other Bitcoiners.
Yeah.
It transforms these abstract digital ideas into tangible collaboration, actual human connection. It fosters a stronger, more resilient social layer for Bitcoin that, honestly, online platforms just can't fully replicate.
Well said. So next time you're thinking about Bitcoin, maybe consider how you could contribute to building that stronger, more connected community. Whether that's, visiting one of these hubs if you happen to be traveling, or maybe just starting a consistent local meetup right where you are. Remember, Bitcoin House Bali is open Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m.
Good to know.
And Tokyo Bitcoin Base is open 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on weekdays. Just Google them for directions and, hey, go experience some of that magic for yourself.
Yeah, check them out.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the fascinating world of building Bitcoin communities.